All right, let's dive into something that's making some serious waves in the AI world. Z.ai's latest model, GLM 4.6, is out, and a new analysis is making a pretty bold claim. It's arguing this isn't just a minor update, but a real challenge to the West's dominance in AI. So today, we're going to break down exactly what's behind that claim. The analysis we're digging into really centers on this one massive question. Is China actually rewriting the AI playbook? And that question right there, it sets the stage for what could be a really fundamental shift in the entire global tech landscape. So let's be clear. The source we're looking at here argues this is way more than just another model release. It's framing this as a direct shot across the bow at the big names in Silicon Valley, your OpenAIs and Anthropics. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack the evidence and the logic they're using to make that case. Okay, first things first. What can this model actually do? The analysis zeroes in on a few key strengths that, it claims, put GLM 4.6 right up there in the top tier of AI models. First up is coding, on a benchmark called Live Code Bench, which is a really tough test for solving actual programming problems. The model scores an impressive 82.8%. A score like that, by itself, puts it in some pretty elite company. And here's where it starts to get really interesting. The source claims that when you put it to the test on specific real-world coding challenges, GLM 4.6 actually managed to outperform Claude Sonnet 4. And that's one of the top models from Anthropic, a major player based in the US. The analysis really doesn't pull any punches. It uses this exact phrase, a coding beast, to talk about the model's performance. That suggests its knack for generating clean, functional, and even well-designed code is one of its absolute standout abilities. Another huge metric they point to is the context window. It's been bumped up to 200,000 tokens. Now, if you're not deep in the weeds on this stuff, just think of the context window as the AI's short-term memory. It's all about how much information it can juggle at once. And the real-world advantage of this is just massive. According to the source, this isn't just a bigger number for the sake of it. It means a developer can literally feed the AI an entire complex codebase, or a lawyer could have it analyze a huge legal document, all in one shot, without it losing track of what's going on. The analysis also points to a big push into something called agentic intelligence. This is a huge leap beyond just simple chatbots. We're talking about an AI that can actually make a plan, reason through the steps, and then use other tools or even other AIs to get a complex job done. And the source connects this tech feature to a much, much bigger ambition. The argument is that the end goal isn't just to build a smarter assistant. It's to create these autonomous AI workers that can take over entire workflows in fields like software development or business analysis. Okay, so the tech is clearly impressive, but the analysis argues that the strategy behind how they're releasing it is just as important, if not more so. So let's get into that. A huge piece of the strategy is efficiency. The source points out that GLM 4.6 uses 30% fewer tokens to get the same job done compared to its predecessor. And trust me, in the world of AI, using fewer tokens is a very, very big deal. So why does that 30% matter so much? Well, it translates directly into two things every business loves: lower costs and faster results. This makes it way more appealing for companies to actually adopt and use the technology at scale, which is a key part of the whole strategic picture. So the source basically lays out this really clear three-step game plan. Step 1, build a model that can truly compete with the best of the best. Step 2, make it incredibly efficient so it's cheap to run. And then Step 3, give it away. Release it as open source so anyone can use it. And this is the end game, according to the analysis. By making a powerful, cheap-to-run tool totally free and open, the goal is to get a global community of developers to start using it, innovating on it, and ultimately to build the future of AI on a foundation that was developed in China. Finally, let's get down to the brass tacks, the raw numbers. The analysis presents a bunch of head-to-head benchmarks to really back up its claims about how competitive this model is. So looking at this table from the source, you get a really fascinating picture. On Live Code Bench, it's basically a dead heat with Anthropic's Claude Sonnet 4. Then on another benchmark, SW Bench, the analysis says GLM 4.6 edged out its rival. And on the AMAT math tests, it's posting incredibly high scores, especially when you let it use tools.
So when you put all this data together, it leads to the source's main conclusion that based on these performance numbers and their open source strategy, China's whole role in the AI race has fundamentally changed. The argument is it's shifted from being a follower to a direct head-to-head competitor.
And that brings us right to the final, really provocative question that the analysis leaves us with. Is this combination of high performance, incredible efficiency, and open access enough to actually shift the global balance of AI power? That's a huge question, and you can bet we'll be watching very closely to see how it plays out. Thanks for tuning in.